Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from two verses, the 36th and the 37th verses of the 18th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 36th verse is as follows: Ityuktva Roshatamraksho Vayasyan Rishibalakaha Kaushiki Apa Upasprishya Vagvajram Visasarjaha. The meaning of this verse is: the son of the Rishi, his eyes red hot with anger, touched the water of the river Kaushiki while speaking to his playmates and discharged the following thunderbolt of words. So the background for this is that Parikshit, while hunting, became very thirsty, tired, hungry, started searching for water, came to the ashram of Shamika Rishi, was not able to find any water in the ashram, was not received by the Rishi, and he became upset and saw one dead snake and lying on the side outside the ashram of the Muni, picked up the dead snake and just put it around the neck of the Rishi, who was deep in meditation, and walked away. The son of this Rishi was playing with his playmates. He was a young boy, but he was very nicely trained up as a Brahmana. So when the son of this Rishi, Shringi, heard that his father was insulted by the king, the boy Shringi became very angry against this insult by the king of his father, insult of his father, and he decided to curse the king. So it is described here, his eyes red hot with anger, Rosha, anger, Tamra Aksha, like copper. When copper is hot, it's already reddish, but it becomes even more reddish. So red hot eyes, he was displaying his anger. He touched the water of the river Kaushika while speaking to his playmates. That means he used the power, the Brahmanical power of cursing by using one mantra, and before chanting that mantra he purified himself, and he discharged the following thunderbolt of words. The mantra power is such that it is like a weapon, but it is not actually a gross weapon. It is a subtle weapon. he discharged the following thunderbolt of words. That mantra by which the king was cursed is as powerful or more powerful than a thunderbolt. That's the sense in which it is used here. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the circumstances under which Maharaj Parikshit was cursed were simply childish, as it appears from this verse. Small boy, he is not mature, he is not aware of proper etiquette, he doesn't know culture. So Srila Prabhupada says the circumstances were childish. Shringi was showing his impudency amongst his playmates who were innocent. Those playmates, they could not make out what was the seriousness involved in either the king's action or the action, the counteraction by this boy, that his father was insulted. The playmates were small boys, they were just innocent boys. They couldn't judge or gauge or understand anything. So Srila Prabhupada says, any sane man would have prevented him from doing such a great harm to all human society. So this cursing of the king, who is the protector of the entire human society, because he is the emperor of the world, and cursing him to be killed for a very, very minor mistake is actually improper on the part of this Brahmana boy, small boy. By killing a king like Maharaj Parikshit just to make a show of acquired Brahmanical power, the inexperienced son of a Brahmana committed a great mistake. This will later on be explained, but here Prabhupada is just mentioning this Shringi made a very, very, very big mistake. That's called a blunder. He made a blunder. And he was an inexperienced son of a Brahmana. He did not know what is the proper way to actually react. The 37th verse, iti langhita maryadam takshakaha saptame ahani dankshati sma kulangaram chodito me tatadruham. These are the words spoken by the Brahmana's son, Shringi. So the translation of this 37th verse, the Brahmana's son cursed the king thus: on the 7th day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched of that dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. This is the justification of this boy in cursing Maharaj Parikshit. The Rajarshi, the great emperor, the protector of all the citizens, the ideal king. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, thus the beginning of the misuse of Brahmanical power began. Brahmanas are very powerful. By training, by culture, by education, by their acquired power due to their austerity, due to their controlling their senses, due to their purity. But such power is never to be misused. It has to be carefully used, properly used. So Prabhupada says the beginning of the misuse of Brahmanical power began with this Shringi cursing Maharaj Parikshit. And then what happened? Gradually, the Brahmanas in the age of Kali became devoid of both Brahmanical powers and culture. The Brahmanas of present day, they don't have the power like this Shringi had, or the other Brahmanas had in the past. Nowadays, Brahmanas don't have that kind of power. Neither they have the Brahmanical culture. They don't have the Brahmanical culture either. So, the downfall of the Brahmanas began with this misuse of Brahmanical power by Shringi. The Brahmana boy considered Maharaj Parikshit to be Kula Angara, the wretched of the dynasty. Parikshit is the best of the dynasty of the kings of the Bharata Vamsha, the best of the kings. And wrongly, this Brahmana boy Shringi is misunderstanding, total misunderstanding, that Parikshit is wretched of the dynasty. For a small mistake, he is wrongly accusing Parikshit to be the wretched of the dynasty. That means the most fallen, most degraded. But factually, the Brahmana boy himself was so. By cursing Parikshit, this Brahmana boy became the most wretched descendant of the glorious Brahmana lineage. He himself became a wretched descendant. But he is wrongly accusing Parikshit to be the wretched descendant of the glorious Bharata dynasty or Kuru dynasty. Why is it said here by Srila Prabhupada, the Brahmana boy himself became the wretched of this lineage? Because only from him did the Brahmana caste become powerless. Moment the misuse is there, they lose their power. Then the other descendants of such a Brahmana who has lost his Brahmanical power will also be powerless. So, the seminal descendants, that is, by virtue of taking birth in a particular family, the present day descendants in that Brahmanical families have no power, Brahmanical power. They don't have Brahmanical power. So they have become powerless. And the example is given of becoming powerless like the snake whose poison teeth are broken. If there is a very poisonous snake, it is very dangerous as long as it has got its poison teeth. But if a very poisonous snake has its poison teeth completely removed, it's possible to remove the poison teeth, then that snake is not at all having any power. So Srila Prabhupada says the snake is fearful as long as his poison teeth are there. Otherwise he is fearful only to children. He can make a show that I'll bite you, but if he actually bites, nothing happens because his poison fangs are removed. Similarly, in this Kali Yuga, the Brahmanas are powerless because Shringi misuse. That's where the misuse began. And that misuse continued for some time till most of the Brahmanas became powerless. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.